Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching the Woolpatch Show May edition. It's Stuart here from my shop, the Woolpatch, though I'm actually broadcasting from my house, but my yarn shop in Long Melford. And then Fizz, of course, producer Fizz is there in the chat saying hello to you all, keeping everyone who's chatting away live in order, dropping links and signposting everything, which makes our show, the Woolpatch Show. What is the Woolpatch Show? It's an hour show, give or take a few minutes, of yarn chat, yarn from my shop chat, new products, maybe what's going on in the creative world, news and sorts of stuff, and what we're making. It's just a chance to come all together in an hour in kind of like a magazine produced show. So it's something different for our niche. Now, you might have also heard, I'm a bit bunged up. I have come down with a stinking cold, and I have to say it's probably my first cold for many, many a year. So if I start coughing and spluttering or reaching for my tissues, that's right. But thankfully you can't get it because you're miles away. If you're watching on catch up, great to have you there. Just leave us some messages in the comments. But many of you love tuning in live and you chat away in the chat there. Let's take a quick look. I saw JB. 2 Olympic chickens will be coming across the pond soon. That makes me so excited. We've got a big reveal at the end of the show at what number we're up to. So if you can stay watching to about 5 to 9, we'll give you an update of where we're up to. Everbee, hey, good to see you again. We're getting near sewing bee time, and I've got a few little things to say about that too. Hey, James. Hey, Jan. Lovely to see you too. All the way from Wisconsin. We've got some people from all over the place. Oh, James's Tonga chicken is finished. Lovely. Hey, Karen. Oh, Karen from Wigan. It's unbelievable here too. Where was that sun from? I'm sure it should have been raining, but you know, no complaints from me. I got out and cut the grass too. Good evening, Margareta from Munich. Lovely to have you here again. I remember you from last month. Well, we've got to talk about this very shortly as we go in. Hey, Natasha. Everyone's come in at the last minute, which is wonderful. Hey, Margaret. See, that's what it's all about. You can, of course, chat away live, and then we can get the comments on the screen too. But does it matter? You can just watch. I know many of you just like watching and don't comment. Jane is one of them, and I'm sure, Jane, you're watching, so I'm going to say brilliant just for you. So that's it. So we always start with the show starter. Yes, and boy, have we got a good show starter. Maybe the best show starter for you. I'm going to talk to you all about my Shawn Mendes shirt, and this is it. Isn't it incredible? Let me show it to you, because it's been such glorious weather here. I went for a prance in the field to try and get some really good angles. So are you sitting comfortably? Let's take a closer look. I'm going to try a new thing. I've got a foot pedal here where I can just push with my foot, and I don't have to use my hands anymore. So I'm going to see if this works. So fingers crossed. So here we go. No hands. Take a look at the Shawn Mendes flower shirt. I had such fun. It's stunning here. The rapeseed that you can see there, that yellow field, is everywhere here in Suffolk. And there's footpaths that just go cross country. And I knew a couple of footpaths where I could be in the middle of nowhere and just have fun. And I knew it would offset the red well, didn't it? But yes, let's show you more about the Shawn Mendes flower shirt. I absolutely love it. And I knew I loved it right from the beginning when we saw these pictures. So this is what I saw. Oh, it was probably November time on Instagram. It just popped up as it does on the feed. And I was like, oh, look at that. So this is it. Shawn Mendes was seen wearing, and this is the actual name of it. You could Google this. It's called the Winchester Crochet short sleeve shirt. And it's done by the fashion house Bode. I've never heard of them before, but they do a lot of hand knit and hand crochet garments if you want to take a look. And when he wore it in November 2023, it was, as you can see there, $940. Well, since then, it's now gone up to $1,200. But I saw it and I went to Colin, good old Colin. You know, Colin lives in the village, an incredible crocheter, knitter, embroiderer, sewer, everything. And I said, oh, can we make this? And he, you know what he says? Of course, darling, I can do that. And he was off. So when was that? So that was November, December, January, February, March, April. Yes, because we had a few, what do you call them? A few trial and errors. So I just checked my pedal. But here we go. Let's go. So we started off with a swatch. We did one in one yarn before, and it didn't. We didn't have enough. So I've got now a nice sort of short sleeve top with a zip in it. And then I got him some new yarn from the shop from Lang called Quattro, which is a sport weight cotton. And I don't have any cotton in the shop, partly because not many people ask for it. I said to you many times, the summer here can go quite quiet in the knitting world. Maybe 70% of the local area just stop knitting and crocheting. They certainly don't really come in to buy cotton like the companies will push. Here's a seasonal yarn, have some cotton. But I thought, well, perhaps I should have one in, a basic one. I have tried Rowan Soft Yak, which is half cotton, half yak. But I thought, no, this time let's go for a basic 100% mercerized combed cotton, as in the Quattro. And you can see there Colin's doing a little sample. It is a V-stitch. He zoomed in with his amazing projector and analysed the pictures like this. Right, what's that? What's that? And he could tell it was a V-stitch. And the V-stitch in crochet is basically two trebles, like that, a chain in the middle, and then your two trebles, like that. So that, in essence, is the V-stitch. But after doing a trial, he was like, oh, no, there's something else going on there. And yes, there is. There is the, and if I stand up, you might be able to see it. There's the one treble. So you have your V-stitch with the chain in the middle, and then there's a one treble. And it's that one treble that actually breaks it up and gives this nice structure to the garment too. So you can see the work in progress there with the flowers. Now that was interesting. When he started embroidering the flowers on, he was like, do we go symmetrical? And he wanted to do symmetrical. And I was like, I don't know whether symmetrical looked a bit too formal. I said, I like things on the her, where it's purposely on the her. You know, like MasterChef, they'll always do things in threes, won't they? And it balances quite nicely. So I did a little drawing to try and sort of show it going like a almost like a zigzag, but not. And he went, oh, okay, I'll try that then. And there you can see the next picture where the flowers are just offset. So you can see there now, it's come that way. This one is slightly higher than that one. And then this one is further in. And I think that works well. Well, it just is. It's stunning, isn't it? And yes, some of you might have noticed at the bottom there too, I've got a jock too. He now makes for me matching jocks for every garment. So I could do a calendar of jocks at this rate. But isn't it wonderful? And we've got we've got the white cotton of Quattro, we've got the green for the leaves, and then we've got the red too. It's proper Italian colours, and I love it being quarter Italian too. So very, very pleased. Now, Quattro, therefore, is going to come into the shop. So take a look at this. I haven't ordered it yet, and I might need your help on colours. So in the chat, please, if you can, what colours would you look for in a cotton during the summer? So I'm thinking, well, do we go pastel? Oh, what have I just done? I've just moved that. Oh, pants. That was our lower third fizz that I've just moved. Can I scroll? Is it going to let me scroll? Sometimes this computer just... Right, let's do this and do this. No, it's... I'm just trying to scroll... Oh, there we go. Oh, how come that scroll? There we go. Ah, yes. So there's Quattro. Oh. Let's now zoom. Where's that gone? There. Let's click on that. That's obviously zoomed out of the shot there. But look at these colours, everyone. Oh, no, I won't scroll again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 colours in a row. And look at all those rows. Where do you start with choosing colours? Do I go, say, get 10 colours in for the summer and get some from each one? Like, you know, like maybe a mushroomy one like you've got there, maybe an orangey peach one, maybe, oh, there it is. Look, there's the picture again. It's a lovely yarn. Colin loved using it. Maybe one from the greens and one from the blues. As you'll have noticed, this company, Lang, are very good about trying to show what the trends are for the season. We've already talked about the purples. If you tuned into my show last month when I was telling you about what I saw at the Europe's biggest trade fair, H&H, you will have seen the purples and the lilacs, and then the greens too, the little pop of lime. So maybe I just go for the trends. But if you were buying cotton, what colours would you go for? Do you go for, because it's the summer, excuse me, because it's summer, do you go for the pastels? Or do you still like perhaps the vibrant, punchy, the orange, the yellow, the lime too? What does Karen say? Karen says, I love pale icy blues and a mint green. Well, the mint green is still the popular one. That's in that sort of trend range. So I might do that. Good point. James says teal, you can't beat a good teal, can you? It's always popular. In the wool world, teal, peacock, petrol, for sure. Margaretta, yes, I'd love mint as well, but also some greyish pinks. Yeah, so I was thinking that top, is it that top one? Will it allow me to tap on it? You know, it's annoying, very annoying, this computer sometimes. It's those top 3 there that I was thinking of. Oh, yes. Well remembered. Yes, peach fuzz is the Pantone colour of the year. Yes, it is. That's a great one. So what's that? That's probably one of these ones here in that second row, isn't it? Okay, right. Fizz, write all those down. Get them down on your list so we don't forget. All shades of blue. Yeah, I'm always a blue fan. Let's scroll to have a look at the blues, shall we? If it's going to allow me there. Look at those blues. That 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom. You can't beat a denim blue. And of course, a navy and white. Beautiful Breton colours. That would be a must, wouldn't it? Navy and white. Oh, hello, Linda. New to your channel. Wonderful. Lovely to have you here, joining in. I've seen a few people new to the channel too. Michelle, I got to meet Michelle too. Great to have you here. She came in the shop and as a shop supporter and came in the shop. Wonderful. Also some cream for striping. Now, You must have read my mind, Margaret, because Colin, the genius that crocheted this, he is doing a new crochet himself in cream stroke ecru, where the stripes are going vertically. So I'll keep you up to date on the next show. But it's wonderful, isn't it? So this is the Shawn Mendes, and I wore it because I had a friend's 50th birthday last Saturday. So I had to miss some of Eurovision. how dare she have it on there? And it was beautiful because it was hot weather again, and I wore it out with the vest top underneath, and wore it to the garden party, and just was beautiful. I think this now might be my all-time favourite garment. You can't. The fit is phenomenal. How he gets that, and the collar. Let's take a moment to appreciate the work in the collar. These increases. The increases on that collar shaping, and there is no pattern for this. He's just copied it off the screen, and it never ceases to amaze me how talented he is, but also how talented you are, you many makers out there who will just craft away. There's our new. Oh, keep that up, Fizz, because I need to move that, right? Because we're going to do some little editing on the fly, because I moved it accidentally. So our new lower thirds, we've changed the ticker, and we've gone even classier, I think. Right, I just need to move, but it wasn't locked on a previous screen, and it went out. So I'm just going to move it into place. There we go. Lock. There. Right, that's a little hint for me to move on, which is great. So there we go. That's the crochet Shawn Mendes flower shirt. And even better than Shawn's, I think, too. Right, so are you ready for Guess the Year? Well, and it's perfect timing because Everbee's in here, Sewing Bee. Guess the Year goes back to me, Ting and Anya, and our first ever Sewing Bee review. And I'm going to show you the picture from it. It was like our first ever unpicked. We just thought, should we just film us in the shop? Bearing in mind, remember, I used to have fabric then. Should we just get together and all talk about the Sewing Bee? Episode 1, and we did it. And here's the picture. You have to guess the year that we did our first ever Sewing Bee unpicked. Get ready to guess. Have a look at this. And I pushed the button and it didn't work. Try again. Let's have a look at this. Right, what year? Pop them in the chats. There's a picture of a youthful me and a youthful Ting. And yes, Anya. Can you remember Anya? We started together, me and Anya, doing the vlogs recorded at the shop. Pop them in the chat. What was it? Our first, not the first ever Sewing Bee, our first unpicked. What season of Sewing Bee was it? Let's get them on the screen. Karen from Wigan says, was it 2014? You'll find out shortly. Am I going to 2016? Sue's going for 2021. Oh, Karen's changed. 2019. Right. Think I might have to go with your first answer, Karen. Margaret says 2014. Lois and So Natasha. So Natasha says 2013. Good to see you. Lois, good to see you too. 2015. Hey, Shari. All right, 2018. JB says 2015. Just looking at my screen down here. They're all coming in. Hey, April. Lovely to see you. 2017. Jan says 2012. Well, I was looking youthful, wasn't I? Oh, it was great fun doing that. Love all your guesses. Hey, Tandy, 2018. James is going 2018 too. Everby, oh, you going now for 2018. Yeah, so this was our first ever time of doing unpicked, and you can see we did them in the shop because before then none of this live technology really was a mainstream for computers. So we used to record, take the camera into the shop would close on a Saturday afternoon, and we would just record it, and we would sit there chatting really informally. We were overwhelmed with the success of it because there was nothing out there, so even just us three sat there with no graphics, no pictures or anything. It did really, really well, and we got lots of hits from it and lots of subscribers who tuned in to watch that Sewing Bee chat. And I can understand it. It's like with The Apprentice, with Bake Off. They have their spin-off shows, and I've always enjoyed going to those spin-off shows because you want to watch more about the show, find out maybe some behind the scenes, backstage gossip too, and get to know the baker or the whatever it is, the apprentice who was going for it. But they don't do it with the Sewing Bee. So we found that we were getting a lot of people coming who also just wanted to join in that Sewing Bee chat, the chat of making, of, oh, why did they try this? Why did they not do this? Or how about doing this? And so we then carried on doing it ever since. So the answer for our first ever Sewing Bee chat was 2019. Who got it? Who got it right? I'm just going to have a quick scan. If you shouted out to 2019 at home, then well done. If you didn't get it right, better luck next time. There's always next month. Karen, I'll give it to you, even though you changed. 2019, you got it, and no one else. Some people were closer with 2018. 2019, would you believe, was Series 5. Series 5 of the Great British Sewing Bee. Now we're up to Season 10. And it all starts next week. Getting very, very excited. So we've got 2 shows for you. Before we go on to, we're going to talk about Lavenham Blue in a minute, but we've got 2 shows for you. We've got our Unpicked with me and Ting. Now you can see it there. Oh no, which way does my hand go? Yeah, here, like that. No, I can't do it. It's all back to front. So we have our Unpicked shows that we now do from here in the studio live with all this fancy technology. Recorded, but we put the pictures in, so you get to see it, and people across the world who don't get Sewing Bee still love to watch our shows because they get to see the pictures, so they kind of can watch it. So we'll be starting again with Ting on Unpicked, and then yes, this one here, is it that like that there? This one here with Carol, All Gathered Up, is back too, where we talk about a skill or a technique that came up in the show and go into detail. And you know how great Carol is. She then does some sort of demo or technique and explains how it works or how you can do it. Because remember, we don't get to see much technique stuff in our show. It's edited down really quick to 3 challenges, and sometimes we're lucky if we see any sewing because it's cut, especially at the beginning. So we try to use All Gathered Up to go into more detail about a technique that perhaps they struggled with. Say they had to put in a zip, or they had to do a princess seam or something like that, and they struggled with it. Well, Carol will then go, oh, let's focus on that. She'll do a tutorial on how to do it when you have more time, and how to be effective at it. So it all starts next week. The Sewing Bee's on Tuesdays, just the way the programming goes. It used to be on a Wednesday all the time, but it's on a Tuesday, 9 o'clock, BBC One. Then me and Ting and then me and Carol record Wednesday or Thursday, and they'll be published to YouTube come Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. We've just got to see how we go at first, see what routine we get into. I saw Ting at the weekend and we were planning it. I think we're recording on Wednesday with that, so All Gathered Up might go up Wednesday, and I might see Carol on a Thursday, and then All Gathered Up goes up on a Thursday. So watch this space. If you love sewing chat, and you're getting excited about getting your sewing machines out. I've got my sewing machine out. How can you see it? Let's go to this shot here. There it is. There's my sewing machine there. I'll turn it around so I can sew all the time. So I'm getting very, very excited to start sewing again over those 10 weeks. Let's see if you're excited about sewing, pop it in the chat. Do you do more sewing during the sewing bee? Let us know. Ever be. Watch the darn. Can I cheat and say you can? I'll let you off with that. Dinky, hey Jennifer. We had the winner of the sewing bee at our craft group a few years ago doing a talk on the show. Oh, lovely. Very nice. Lois says, I think I watched you for the first time in 2020. Wonderful. Yes, because that was lockdown. So I think we all then went to Zoom. So that's when we started using the technology more too. Love Carol. Good. We'll be be lovely to have you with us. And maybe we might do a couple of lives. We're seeing how we go. Mostly we'll be recorded. I know we'll do the end of the season live so we can chat with everyone. But it'd be great to have you chatting in the comments too anyway. So Natasha, can't wait. Will Damien join one week? I hope so. But he's doing wonderful things around the globe, isn't he? On his cruise ship, doing costumes and things. So I don't know whether he could dial in, but he was great when we had him on, wasn't he? We try and get one sewing bee from every past season on. That's what we like to do, as a one-off, so we can see what we can do. Karen, my sewing machine never goes away. Well, you're always at it, aren't you? Which is wonderful. I can't wait to start making some more garments and doing that. So that's great. Right, yes, coming up now. Then, while I have a quick swig and a blooming nose, we'll go into the Lavenham Blue collection. I've gone all fancy now. Change the colours to talk about Lavenham Blue. We kind of keep you informed as the weeks go on, and you know what Lavenham Blue is by now, many of you. But if you don't, and you're new to the channel, which actually we do know from people who are in the live chat there, Lavenham Blue Lavenham is a little village near Long Melford, and we are known as wool towns because in the 16th century, the wool trade was booming. It was the biggest time for it. We had spinners, we had weavers, we were making cloth, and we were exporting it all around the world. And the money that the wool merchants were making was phenomenal. So much so, they put the money into the churches into that local area. So if you look at Long Melford's church, Holy Trinity, and if you look at Lavenham's church, St. Peter's and St. Paul's, it's huge. Absolutely huge. For a village parish, the church is ginormous. And the tower, which is the most important bit, because they believed the higher you were to God, the higher the tower, the closer you were to God. But that then needed money. And that money came from the wool merchants who were raking it in. And what Lavenham was famous for was for indigo dyeing with woad. And woad is a brassica plant, brassica family, and it has indigo in its leaves, a bit like Japanese indigo. But Japanese indigo didn't exist then in the 16th century. We were using Isatis tinctoria, which is woad. That was growing in Europe and it was growing in the UK. Think back to the Celts with Boudica putting the blue on their faces. So they knew how to extract the indigo even in 550 to 100 AD, but we're talking about the 16th century. And the village of Lavenham did everything. So they got the wool in from various parts of the country, the wool merchant did, and it's where the proper term cottage industry came from. each different house had a different job. They were either washing it, dyeing it, spinning it, weaving it, carding it, all those jobs into making a broadcloth which would be sent around the world and cut up, and garments would be made out of it. And it was called Lavenham Blue, and it's phenomenal. If you know what indigo dyeing is, the blue is just unique, and it's a specific way of dyeing, and that's the techniques that I've picked up with my yarn shop at the Woolpatch. So I've learned those techniques, and I dye it. And each year I get a local collection of fleece, where I send it up to the mill to be spun, and it comes back to me to dye Lavenham Blue. And every year we talk about where it's come from, who it's come from, and what the fibre is. And then I dye it over the spring and summer, and it kind of goes on sale August time. But you YouTubers, you lovely lot, you get to get it on pre-order. But before we get to that, let's talk about this year's collection, what it is and where it's from.
Here with Roz, and we're looking at her Rylands. Hello. Look who's here.
You just feel how warm that is.
Oh my word, that's so warm.
Yeah, and it's surprising, isn't it?
You dear little thing.
Come on, 57, come back and get it.
Hello. Hello. Give a yes. There's Mama. Good girl. Go on. Go on, off you Todd. Oh, a day old.
Yeah. And they are, Come on then. Good girl. Come on. You come and say hello.
Hello.
She said I was first at tendering show last year.
Oh, really?
And she reared twins. She reared twins and she was first at tendering show.
Oh, how cute. So that was literally 2 weeks ago. I went up on a Monday to Roz's farm in Hadley, and they were, as I said on there, they were like a day old, some of them. And they were like, oh, so cute. And she told me all about her farm, all about what she does, and you just can't help have respect for it because it's hard work. She said, all right, I'm up here in the morning, then I've got to come back at this time, then I've got to come back at this time, and then sometimes through the night. Well, that's what a shepherdess would do. That's their job, isn't it? And we went up with a lovely collie dog as well. And it's just... And it was a glorious sunny day, and it just made you think, this is spring. But what it also made me realise is this is the community. This is the wool world. And this is what made Lavenahm so rich in the 16th century. And we're trying to do that. So yes, this year's collection is Ryland. And they were her sheep. So we sent them off. And she's got a big flock. She's got 60 sheep. Now, as you noticed, some of them were brown. Well, we snuck some of the brown ones in. Where is that actually? Right, I'm just going to go and get that. I'm just unplugging this. Hang on. Let me just re-engage. Okay. So you can see there, you remember from the video, we had the white Ryland and the coloured Ryland. Well, it's given it a beautiful oatmeal look. Because we couldn't want just to chuck those coloured ones out. We just thought, well, you know what, we'll chuck them in the mix. And boy, has it had an impact on the final colour. Because it's made the blue, the indigo, this sounds a bit fancy, but I think it's just given it a bit more body and a bit more depth. Now I've got a big light in here, but don't want to get on my face. You can kind of see the bit of the brown colour, how it affects the indigo, and it makes it for a dark indigo. And of course, remember with indigo, the more you dip, the darker it gets. But if you just dip one hank in, pull it out, dip another hank in, pull it out, by the end of the day, your indigo vat is pretty much exhausted. So you create natural fades. So by the end of the day, you get some light blues. Look at that. If I get my face out of the way. So you put that against that. Oh, look at that. Now, the only thing is with indigo, as you well know, trying to show that on the computer is very difficult, especially when you've got about 60 hanks. So what tends to happen is when you order, you might say, can I have some dark ones? Can I have 3 dark ones? Can I have a mixture? Can I have a fade set? And you can be as creative as you like. So now, it is, this year, it's a double knit. Though I have to say, I might think it might even be bigger. It's very hard to see. I actually think it might even be Aaron. So I'm going to have to take one of these hanks and do a little bit of research and knit up some swatches and see what a general gauge is. But the mill definitely says that it's double knit weight. But I'm looking at that going, that ain't double knit. And we're knitters, we know. And I know the mill, the spinner, he's got these machines, but I'm looking at that and that ain't double knit. If that's double knit, then I don't like peanut butter. So I'll do some research there, and I might get some of my fabulous ladies to knit some swatches for me. But there we go. So the pre-order. So I've started dyeing already. You can see it's everywhere. It's hanging up at the back there, and it's here. And I know you love to support local. The pre-order will be opening very soon. Fizz is going to put on the screen when it's available for you. As always, if you're a shop supporter, just love that technology. I didn't even have to press anything. If you're a shop supporter to the channel, and that means you've joined, you're a subscriber, but you've clicked join too, so you contribute $4.99 a month, you get first dibs. So you're going to get it launched to you as a pre-order on June the 2nd, which is in 2 weeks' time. Yes. Because we do a show supporter show in 2 weeks every 4. Oh yeah, I'm getting confused. And then in a month's time, when we come back for the June Woolpatch show, everyone else will be able to buy it too. But when I say everyone else, YouTube, you still get first dibs, and then it will go into my shop. Because I know how much many of you appreciate the story, the traceability, the idea that there is so few air miles on this yarn, it's untrue. So Hadley is, yeah, you saw it's, what, 6-7 miles from my shop. Yes, it's got to go up to Bridlington to be spun, but that's it. It's then back. So there is something special about that. The farmer Roz has got her money. I've paid her for the fleece. Rather than the farmers burying it or burning it because they get 20 pence from the Wool Marketing Board, you're investing in the local economy, and that money goes back into the local economy, and I know you love supporting that. So keep an eye on that. Put those dates in your diary. Oh, yes, James, that's a good point. Do a wraps per inch measurement. Okie dokie, I will. Or if you come down one Saturday, I'll give it to you and you can do it. That would be great. Right, Karen from Wigan. How dare you? And this was a good question. I don't know. Fizz has just been talking my ear that it could well be, because it's lavender, blue, dilly, dilly, lavender. Maybe it's got changed over the years. We might try and research that. But Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star was written by someone who lives in Lavenham. I think if you go onto the Crooked Men on Instagram, they've got a big story about that. But Fizz has told me that in my ear. It is a lovely colour, isn't it? It's the magicalness of indigo. I don't even know which blue is nice. I know, that's where it gets hard. But when you see them together, though, Margaretta, and you see the fade set, because I dyed 10 over the weekend, and you can see that 10 going lighter and lighter. It's beautiful. Will you be selling the oatmeal skein? I will. I'm keeping a few left because Valerie has already bagged her oatmeal skein. So, Margaret, if you'd like one, I will keep some undyed. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, James. Wonderful. Karen, do you... Oh, I love Marmite too. Marmite on toast, Marmite in cheese sandwiches. There we go. Right, yes, as you can see, it's time for the gallery. That's a stonking one this month. Loads jam-packed, so let's slow down the pace. Well, not slow it down too slow, because we're clearly 15 minutes behind schedule already. What a surprise there. Can we make up some time later? Who knows? We'll take bets on that, shall we? Let's slow down the pace and look at your exquisite work in this May's edition of the gallery. reminder, put Karen at the bottom of the list. Oh, you missed me. Of course not, Karen. You'd never go to the bottom of the list there. The back of the queue even. How amazing was that? And what an array of makes for the gallery. And that's what I like about the gallery. You can see something and go, wow. Or you can look at something and go, oh, I love that. I want to make that. And what the beauty of the gallery is then, as you saw, the links are in the YouTube chat. Or even better, you could just go to the woolpatch.com/gallery and you can find all the detail there, because when people post their pictures, they tag me in. But the best bit is when they do post their pictures, they give loads of information, like who the pattern designer is and the yarn they've used and maybe even the colorways they've used. And you can find all that real detail at thewoolpatch.com/gallery. So if you liked Rosemary's stunning crochet granny square blanket there, did you see that? How many? When she texted me, 16 by 16, 256 squares. Whoo! That was long. She says, yes, it's taken me about 6 months. Well, it was well worth it. But what Rosemary did was, she doesn't post on Instagram. She gave it to me because she's a customer of the shop. So I got it through this way. She says it was Drops Fable. And she's given me all the colourways too. So if you love the colourways there, you've got Sunset, Guacamole, Berry Dreams, Pink Dreams. You can find it all. And that's because of you making great posts. So whatever you saw there, you've either got the link in the chat that producer Fizz has put, or you can go to thewoolpatch.com/gallery and you can see. And if you scroll on that page, you'll get to see all previous galleries too. It's wonderful. But there were some great makes there. Socks, Jimbo, yours was in there, wasn't it? That shawl was stunning. And that, I loved that. It's lovely to see that because he used dystopic fibre, which we've had in the shop before, and I'd like to get in again. Talking about the shop, the roadworks have finished. Have we got a fanfare? Have I put one on the computer? What does that one do? Applause. Yes, the roadworks have finished. We've got the flags out. We're cheering and wooing. January, February, March, April, 5 months of Anglia Water in the main high street with traffic lights has absolutely knocked off all trade. It's been nightmare. I've been really struggling to the point where I'm having to pay my rent for 1 month only rather than 3 months in advance because there's just been no customers. Because no one wants to come to the village. So we're loving that. So all the traffic lights were gone Saturday. It was wonderful. So it's double celebrations there. So maybe we can get some more dystopic fibre in. Anyway, let's talk about soap. Let's clean our act up, shall we? Lavenham Blue SOAP. Lavenham Blue SOAP is coming to the Woolpatch as just a bit of fun. Because one of my Knit and Natter ladies, Ros, Wednesday afternoon makes soap, and we just happened to be talking. I said, I fancy making some Lavenham Blue soap. And she went, oh, I make soap. So we started chatting, we started putting the wheels in motion, and I went over to hers for a bit of fun to make Lavenham Blue soap. Take a look at this and enjoy. This is Ros, everyone. Say hey, Ros. I won't struggle.
there's our woad soap.
At least 24 hours.
Beginning of June woad soap. High five to you.
Oh, how lovely was that? Making soap as, you know, just us two there. Although I think she did most of the work, but I did do a bit of stirring. But yes, and do you want to see the finished article? So soap has to cure for a certain amount of time, maybe 2 months, for reasons Ross did say, and I've kind of forgotten. I think it's something to do with the oils or the lye in it. But I have got one right here. It's it's the light's not doing very well, and my face. I need to do this like YouTubers do. Oh, you might get look. Can you see a bit of the? So it's that lovely grey blue again. Woad it is a certain type of blue. If you see woad indigo, it is blue, but there is just this sort of grey hint to it. Even when you dye linen or when you dye fabric, it's just a different type of blue from any other indigo. And I think that's the specialness about woad. And we have, because woad is quintessentially English, because of Suffolk and the Celts, Boudica. The smell we went for was English country garden, you know, that classic country garden. So it's got geraniums in, it's got roses in, lavender in. Oh, if we could do, who needs selly telly? We need smelly telly. Go on, have a sniff, come close. Come close. Karen, get your nose right to the screen. Have a sniff. It's lovely. Really nice. So pre-orders coming soon for that. I was so busy chatting I didn't see it. Fizz put it on the screen, didn't you? It's... Oh yeah, there you go. There it is. The wonders of Fizz pushing buttons. That's going to be the same time as the yarn goes on sale. We're aiming for about 20 in our first batch. And then if that goes well, we'll do more. But as I say, remember, you're investing in the local economy. There's real woad. You saw the woad going in there. It's not some sort of, con. It's real woad, and we've made it. So that batch that you saw her pouring, that's where this has been sliced from. So I think we get, 19 now, because I've got the 20th here. Oh, wonderful. So... And it's lovely seeing there's lovely seeing new people in the chat. The chat's great live in YouTube. It goes quick, but not too quick. I can kind of keep an eye on it and pull out messages every now and again. Sue says from the gallery, some fantastic makes, but Alphonse, I reckon, is my favourite. It's just like, yes, April, isn't it? And that's why I also like it. So much inspiration. But let's not forget as well to celebrate creativity. When we get older, remember I used to be a teacher, we were always taught about praising students and how if you praise, it can just boost someone. Yet we don't do it enough as adults, do we? We don't blow our trumpets enough, or we don't actually then praise other adults enough. Well, we do here, and we absolutely celebrate the skills of you all and what you can create. Oh, I remember that. Poor Everbee has just had flashbacks of the Great British Sewing Bee last year when they had the crochet, the transformation challenge, and they had to cut up the crochet blankets. Ting still has nightmares too. Oh, Sue, you said it was sacrilege. Isn't it brilliant? The soap, wasn't it? Yes, it was indeed neat. I think that's because Roz was in charge of it, where it was me, it would probably be everywhere. James, there's always one, isn't there? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. No, of course it won't. Oh dear, because absolutely, when we have the Woolpatch After Dark, I'm getting rather hot. Look, I'm starting to glisten now. Right, anyway, we're going on too long. We're 15 minutes behind already. Fizz, look, She's cracking that whip and I'm not paying any attention at all. Right, let's go on to the news. Let's have a quick look at what's going on in the world of creation. Yes, Shetland Wool Week has been launched. If you are a fan, I'm sure you already know, but if you don't, every year Shetland and everyone comes together on the island of Shetland to celebrate wool, but they come together to put on an amazing event. And we have James in the chat who went there last year. That James, Kiwi James, who had a lovely tour. He can chat away about how amazing Shetland Wool Week is. Every year of Shetland Wool Week, they release their annual pattern. And it's a hat pattern, and this year's hat pattern is extra special. Let me get my notes here. The official 2024 pattern is called the Isleborough Toorie. Isleborough. So think of what was the other bruh one? The Musselburgh. Okay, bruh. Isleborough Toorie, and has been exclusively designed by, I'm going to go for the Dowell family, D-O-U-L-L, Dowell family, as the Shetland Wool Week patrons for 2024. Fizz, as always, will have the links. She'll drop them in if you want to go and look at Shetland Wool Week and find out all about these patrons, and also to go and buy the pattern. So the pattern is called the Isleborough Toorie, and the pattern shines a spotlight on Shetland sheep and the wonderful wool, and it's named after the family's own farm, and it features a distinctive Shetland ram. I'll try and get you a side-on pic actually, because I've only just put the crown, because you got, is it me? Or do you all? I buy a hat because of the crown pattern, of how it does the decreases. Let me know if you're a crowner. Are you a crowner? If you buy a hat because of a phenomenal crown, then put crowner in the live chat, or if you're not in the chat, shout it out if you're a crowner. There is something about a stunning crown. When I saw that crown, I'm like, I'm making me that hat. Also on this pattern, you can see some of it from there, but when you go and have a better look, she says the inclusion of the wave lace pattern celebrates Margaret Dowell's, that's the mum, skillful knitted lace. Now, there are 3 patterns available, as you can see there. Fizz will drop the links into the 3 patterns. You've got the coloured one on the far right there, the purple one, purple, orange, blue. You could buy that kit from Jameson's and Smith. They're one of the most famous wool brokers there. There are 2 really big companies, Jameson's and Smith, and if you can remember, we've got Jameson's of Shetland. Jameson's of Shetland have done the opposite one, the more lilac-y mauve one. Excuse me. And you can buy that kit too. The one in the middle is another yarn company on Shetland called Uredale Yarns. And that's the neutral one. But I went on there earlier to have a look, and the neutral one's all sold out. But Uredale have made other yarn kits of different colours, because they're all basically using Shetland yarn. So I would suggest you buy the pattern, and the wonderful thing about what Shetland Wool Week have done is they've made it very accessible and affordable. You can buy the pattern for £1, but if you want to, because we know most patterns are probably £5 or £6, you can donate more. So you can donate a £5 or a £10 when you, excuse me, when you pay for your pattern. So I've paid for my pattern. I'm going to go for the bright version. I haven't got the yarn because I've got yarn from the shop. And I think I'm going to go for something similar, probably using the 4-ply from the shop. Or I might even try double knit and use Colour Lab. But we'll see. We'll investigate. That will be coming up on the next vlogs. So I would love you to go and buy that pattern, support Shetland Wool Week, maybe we can have a very, very informal make-along together and then all wear our, excuse me, all wear our finished Shetland Wool Week hats during Shetland. Let's see what James said. Now I've been chatting. Let's move that down. Oh, how do I move that down? That's the pre-order. So there we go. Move that down. James says Shetland Wool Week was absolutely amazing last year. Lovely to hear. Margaretta, she's a crowner. Yes, good. I'm not alone. Who else is a crowner? Hope I know. Hope no, you won't. Hopefully not. No. It didn't really come out yesterday. Really, it was the last night when it just suddenly. Have you? What yarn are you using, James, or have you bought the kit? Let us know. Okay, and I've got to push this button now for the next news item. Coming soon from Knit Pro. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God. Waves. Are you a crocheter? Do you use Waves? Their main sort of brand. I know they've got a bamboo crochet hook, but Waves is the main one with the nice big ergonomic handles. Well, they're revamping them. Don't know much yet. All it just says there is Waves 2.0 revamped. So I'm guessing they're going to be making the tapered Waves, which are currently, as we know, is a normal crochet hook in my world. They're going to make them inline. They're going to give them this flat decrease before the hook and the throat, and they're going to make it flat and sharp. That's my guess. So I reckon they're going to be inline. But then if they're revamping it, does it mean then the whole of Waves becomes inline? Or are they going to have Waves 1.0 tapered and Waves 2.0 inline? So that's like double the stock. I'm going to have to think about that. And I'm going to have to perhaps try it, because I'm seeing more and more inline crochet hooks on the market. So keep an eye out for that. Follow Knit Pro on Instagram. That's where I got that. It came up. Actually, we chatted about it on our shop supporters show 2 weeks ago, didn't we? About the whole idea of tapered and inline, and also interchangeable crochet hooks. So that's something to look out for from Knit Pro. And then lastly, yes, like my joke there, it's the end of the bolt for Alexander Henry Fabrics. When I used to have fabric, I couldn't stock it, but I was always a big fan, as you can see, of Alexander Henry Fabrics. And I'll read this out for you. The current fall-winter 2024 collection will be the last for Alexander Henry Fabrics. They plan to print custom orders and monitor the Alexander Henry archive and their copyrights, but this is because of the passing of the lead director, Marc de Leon, earlier this month. Excuse me. Now, the other designers, Nicole and Philip de Leon, will move away from the designing season collections and direct their illustrative abilities to projects in new industries. So, sad. Don't know whether that's a fabric thing, the way fabric is going, patchwork cotton fabric is going, especially as it's America. You love, I know we've got a lot of Americans on our chat who sew and who do patchwork sewing, and who love those fabrics. So it's sad to see. But I think it's probably due to the family death there more than anything else. It's sad. So one more collection to go. But I'm sure you'll see, if you want that type of fabric, you've just got to Google it, because there's loads on Etsy too. It is a shame, because their designs are wonderful. If you like I think it's the creepy things, the skull things. I think they're still going to do that, but somewhere else. There is a big article on Instagram where it's all explained. So if you want to find out more, then go to Alexander Henry Fabrics on Instagram, and you can read the letter explaining everything about it. Right, that's the news done. Excuse me. Absolutely, yeah. Fizz is just talking to me down my ear, yeah. it's just many people know certain types of Alexander Henry fabrics, and the fireman. I think there's some cowboys ones too that is well known. Yeah, James is like, no, oh no. And Lois, there's a fire station at the end of our road, but they. Oh dear, that's a damn shame, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh, whatever be. It is sad, isn't it? Right, we're a bit over, but shall we go to the charts, everyone? We're getting near the end of the show when we go to the charts. We've got the charts to do, crochet and knitting, and then we've got a chicken update. So another sort of 10, 15 minutes of your time, if I could have it, would be great. Crochet charts. The top 10. If you're not familiar with it, I know, as I said, there are many new people to our channel. At the end of, halfway through, towards the end of our show, we always do a top 10 of the hot right now patterns from Ravelry. I love Ravelry. It's a big thing for crochet and knitting. Oh, go on, Fizz, say that again. You've added 3. Oh, free. Oh, okay. So what we do is we go through every Sunday, we look at we change the filter to hot right now, which is basically what everyone is looking at, so they might have watched a podcast and someone's gone, oh yeah, look at my pattern, it's out now. And then when they go to Ravelry and click on it, that counts as a look. And then they put that into an algorithm that basically says what's hot right now. What is everyone looking at? And every Sunday, we look at them at the same time every Sunday, 4 o'clock, my time. I take them and then me and Fizz compile the charts. So let's take a look what everyone is looking at for crochet. Fizz puts the links to those patterns in the chat. We also release that as a separate video every Sunday evening as well. So you can rewatch it, go to the description box and click on the link. Now, if you see free after Fizz's link, it means the pattern is currently free too. So you can grab yourself a bargain too. So if something jumps out to you and you go, oh, I like the look of that, and you've got free there, then go get it while you can. So there are 6. Fizz says there are 6 today in the crochet charts. Okay, well, okay, right, let's sit back and watch and see if there's anything that we like with the top 10 crochet hot right now patterns. Anything you like? Fizz got a bit behind with those links there. I was too busy chatting to her. I just do love it. Ravelry is a huge resource and there is so much. I don't use it anywhere near as much as others. You've got forums there and you've got communities. You can connect with people and chat. You can find what other people have done. So if there's a particular project there that you like, click on get actually into that pattern page, and then you can find what other people have done and then what other yarns people have done. And you might go, oh, wow, she's done it in this yarn. I've got that in my stash, and then knit it. So it's a huge, huge source of inspiration, and all for free, which is amazing. Okay, so let's go to the knitting now then, Fizz. You ready for the knitting? You got your fingers on your buttons? She has indeed. Let's go to the top 10 knitting patterns for week 21. Wow. Lovely ones, weren't there? Just whilst that was going up and Fizz was doing all the work and I had a chance to sit back, just looking at your comments, I saw that number 1 was lovely, wasn't it? I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind doing that myself. But yes, it's a shame it doesn't go up to adult size at all. We've got Margaretta. I see yes, that's still in the charts. It was there last week too, wasn't it? I see the Jethro cardi in my future. Already bought the jumper, but I think I like the cardigan better. Well, the cardigan's been in there longer too. And Karen also says I'll have to look at the Jethro. It's been in the charts quite a few times. In fact, Fizz, you might have the data there because Fizz keeps all the data. Are you able to tell us how many times that's been in the charts so far, the Jethro? Yeah, she's just going to the wonders. I can hear her opening up the Excel document and having a look. She'll get back to me shortly. Oh, the V-neck pullover looks nice, does, yes. And then, of course, the ranunculus is still there. And me and Sue were talking about that ranunculus and the love note. They are just great sweaters, so versatile. I think that's why they work. And, of course, the chickens. Yes, let's give you a finished chicken update. Oh, Fizz just said 5 times. So yes, like I say, I thought it had been there. Certainly over the last 4 or 5 weeks, it has been prevalent too, the Jethro. So it's clearly very popular there. Let's move on to the chickens before we finish. A couple of minutes of your time just to give an update. You will be amazed at how many chickens we've got potentially coming. So those who are new, we had the emotional support chicken. We made them up for an Easter window display in March and April. And it went down so well. Everyone walking by going, oh my God, they're so cute. And we had 3 or 4 and we had lots of chicks in there too. The kids loved it. And that's why the pattern is so popular, because they are so cute. People haven't seen anything like it before. Well, I then started thinking, as you do, having a shop, you start thinking, what my next window display, because I've got a huge opening window. I'm very lucky to have this big window. And it means you've got to work hard at creating a display and planning it. So I started to think ahead, right, what window displays I've got coming up. And then I suddenly realised we've got the Olympics coming up. So I then started to think, right, what am I going to do for the Olympics? And then it just suddenly occurred to me, why not have Olympic chickens? Let's make a chicken, but rather than using the pattern for following colours, let's choose a nation and then knit the flag of that nation into the chicken. And then what more fun we can have, we can ask you all to join in. So I started off asking my knit and nat a lot, and we had like 6 or 7 take it up. And then I did it on a live a couple of months ago. It must have been January, February, it must have been March's edition, because we're now in May. Yeah, I think it was. Oh, we did a special video, didn't we? And there's a link in the chat if you want to see that. Cool, you're good, Fizz. You're so quick. How did you find that link so quickly? That's incredible. She never ceases to amaze me. And then suddenly we made a form, and I just thought it's a bit of fun. We might get 20 or 30. Well, we got over 40, we got over 50, we got over 60. So now I'm going to push this button here, and our latest update on how many chickens we're going to have for our Olympic window is 80. That's incredible. 80 people have signed up to make a chicken and choose a country and then knit that country's flag in the chicken. Do you want to see some that we've got so far? Well, let's go to Karen, because Karen from Wigan is in the chat. Let's get Karen's. Where's yours, Karen? Right, I'm going to whiz. How cool! This is New Zealand. You've got these lovely embroidered stars. And you can, let's do it this way, because obviously that goes over that. So you can see how Karen has been influenced by the flag and then replicated it. You don't have to do the flags exactly. You could just take inspiration from maybe the colours. Because of the way the pattern is knitted, it's very difficult to get horizontal flags. It's very easy, however, to get vertical flags. So let me show you. This one. I want to go be Rene and the policeman for a low hello. I was pissing by the door. So this is how the pattern is knitted. You've got the tail first, then you pick up these stitches to do the white, but it's knitted flat, and I haven't got mine handy. Oh yes, I have. Oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't. So doing flags like that is really easy, vertical, but doing horizontal is a lot harder. But as I say, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be literal. Palm Tuesday, we've got Gambia. And how clever has Pam been? Look, the base, she's even done the flag how it would be. China. I should have some... where's our chicken? Put our chicken music on. I forgot to do that. Japan. Crochet one. Oh. Croatia. Look at this big beauty. Look at the size of this one. Vietnam. Now this is one where it's been Fizz has got really excited there and said, "Oh wow, with me here." This is where it's just a general inspiration, not the exact flag. And also, I want to show you these two in particular. I made it so you can post them to the shop if you do them flat, so it doesn't cost you hardly anything at all. And we've got some flat ones through. This is Christine Eswatini. Same thing again. She was inspired by the flag, black and white, because that's the flag there. Oh. But with blue and gold. But she liked the black and white bit, but then found a flag and we embroidered it on because she sent it to us flat. So all I've got to do now is stuff it. And she sent a lovely card with everything in, and that was really nice to get through the post, opening them up and then chatting with the ladies at Knit and Natter with them. And she says, "Hope your display goes well. P.S. I would love a photo of Eswatini once stuffed and then your window display." Of course. And then another one came through flat to the shop. You just send it to the shop address. And it's like Christmas. Look at this one. Should we do a guess the country? It's got to be that way. Which nation is this? This is a good test, isn't it? And look. I got a flag too. Oh, let's push that on again. Oh, go on, play. Yeah. And let me just read you this. Enclosed, let's hold it like that. Oh no, like that. I'll have to do it with the other hand. Enclosed my Olympic chicken in colours of Mauritius, as I'm an original island girl. See, and that's what's really nice, is the story behind which one you chose. So do let us know. And this is really lovely to read. I'm not a confident knitter. This is Ketty. Thank you, Ketty. Thank you very much if you're watching this. If not, and someone knows Ketty, then say thank you. I'm not a confident knitter, so could not knit rows horizontally. Well, that's what, as I was just saying to you, it's really difficult because of the way this goes. You'd have to have bobbins and do like intarsi sort of thing. I really enjoyed making the chicken. It's not perfect. It looks perfect to us. Doesn't matter. But I'm happy with the end result. Do you know what? And that's all that matters. And so we've got it flat. And then again, I'll stuff it. So that's what it looks like when they're flat. Fold it in half and stuff it. And I've got the bottom. And look, there's the wattle too. So I can do that. And if we get loads, then a lot of the ladies can help out too. Let's have a quick look at the chat before we finish. Let's zoom and scroll to here. Margaretta, Mildred, the UK chicken has been finished. But I haven't got round. Oh, don't worry. There's no rush. We've got till July. To posting it yet. Very sorry about. Don't worry at all. No apology needed. There is no rush. As I say, we might do a village special where we. My plan now is to put all the chickens in various places across Long Melford, and then have like a hunt, so the kids could come. The families could come and the kids could try and find, and adults actually, how many chickens can you find and can you name the nations? And then end of July into the window. That's the idea. I'm posting mine soon too. Fabulous. Karen, excuse me. Push that button. Will you be knitting? Oh no, what I thought we would do is in the shop window to one side we'd have a current medals table and like have the top 3 or top 5, and if that changes we'll have each specific chicken on a different shelf changing. Or maybe if say Thursday afternoon we had archery on and it was an amazing win by the French, then I might draw that on the window and have the French and draw archery or something. I was going to sew and knit the rings, but we're not allowed to do that. Not allowed to put it in the window. They're very strict on copyright protection. They don't want people to think that there's Olympic stuff going on that's not official. So you can't put Olympic rings in the window. Very much so. I didn't know. Fizz has just told me you can't get 007 tattoos on you. You can't, really. How can? It's your own body though. But ooh. Where is it? It's Wattle. Oh, I don't know. Who's one? Oh, what? The French one? I don't know. Probably fallen off. Is that a French hen? Is it Le Coq? That just reminded me of Le Coq Sportif. Do you want the end sewn in too? No. I just chuck them in. So don't spend time doing that, because when it gets stuffed, it's all going to be on the inside. No, don't sew them in. Aren't they great? They are wonderful. Hey, Dana, good to see you come along. I wonder what the postman is saying. I've got a really nice postman. He's a bit dishy too. And he loves it. And he's beginning to realise what's going on. And he goes, oh, you've got a nice one here from abroad. And then I get all excited and he bleeps it and then he passes it over to me. It's wonderful. James, Stuart, were you deliberately wearing your Adidas sport shorts? This show is highly planned, James, and teched. What do you think? Yes, the French one. That was Jane Thursday. I shall have words with Jane Thursday. It doesn't matter. But there you are. Isn't that wonderful? 80 whopping chickens. Oh, absolutely amazed by it. If you want to get involved, there's no pressure at all. You just go to the link that Fizz has probably put in already. It takes you to this special form, and it's got the patterns there. Must buy the pattern. It's all about supporting the designer as well, not passing the pattern round. And then you scroll to the bottom. There's a drop-down menu, and it only shows the countries that are left. If you choose one of those countries and press submit, it magically removes it from the list. And that's how we know 80 people, 80 people have chosen to do one. As I say, we did. Fizz says we started from 205 nations, not thinking of a number at all, just wanting fun. But now we've got so many, I'm like, oh, can we get to 100? I want to try and get the local press involved. It's always good to get them and come and take some pictures. It's good for the shop too, isn't it? And it's keeping it current. We're a knitting crochet shop, aren't we? Current trends. People often think knitting is old-fashioned and fuddy-duddy. We're still doing it. It's still modern and it's new. Look at me in this crochet wonderful masterpiece from Colin. It's nothing is stuffy or old about it at all. We appreciate the traditions, but boy, do we celebrate the future. I was coming up with a really good saying there, and it didn't really didn't trip off the tongue, did it? Ah, dear. Right, there we go, everyone. 9:30, half an hour over schedule. Oh, dear. But I don't think you care, do you? How are you all? Have you all had fun? I tell you what, I'm sweating buckets here. Oh, but I still love it. I thought cotton was supposed to keep me cool too. Anyway, right, we're going to finish with a little test again. I'm going to play an ad which just helps. So if you see the ad, that's great, but the ad will play, and then it will my closing credits will play. So you're not missing any live stuff. The ad and the closing credits will play. Don't forget next week the sewing beat if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK and you love the sewing beat, or let's get rid of chickens. Don't forget, I like how it spun out there. Don't forget you can still watch, because we put all the pictures on. Though I've been strict with Ting, we've said, right, we're only going to go for half-hour shows. So we probably won't talk as much because he's getting into exam season. So I know he's getting a bit stressed. And if Ting is stressed, that means the slipper is going to get thrown. If you've not watched any of the Sewing Bee shows, the slipper is a great feature of it. If he gets frustrated, it's this metaphorical slipper that he takes off his foot and hurls it at the telly out of sheer frustration, normally at the judges. Always lovely to have your company. Lovely to see new people in the chat. I hope we've managed to engage with you new people. Sometimes the chat goes and people talk to each other, but it's lovely having your company. As always, big shout out to producer Fizz. Couldn't do it without you. Makes the show so good for content that you can watch and click and you can find stuff that we talk about. So that just makes it even more interactive, and we love doing it. So thank you, Fizz, for all your time. I will publish the charts videos, and then perhaps during the week you'll see separate videos come out. I'll be showing this off as that video that you saw right at the beginning as a standalone video. We love all your interactions, all your comments, and hopefully if you're a shop supporter where you subscribe and pay $4.99, tell you what, that's been really invaluable over the last 5 months, because that's helped to pay bills that I've struggled to actually pay because the customers haven't been there. If you'd like to be a shop supporter, then even more that's invaluable to me. It's $4.99 a month, and it's just done through YouTube. It's done through Google and everything. And in 2 weeks' time, we get to see just you shop supporters. And that's when you get the pre-order chance to go live. But if not, we'll see You all are wonderful subscribers in 4 weeks for June. Can you believe that? June. And Fizz, what show number is that? 20. That will be our 20th live, because we only do them once a month. 20th live. I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to press the add button now and then go and make myself a nice lemon zip and sleep. But I wouldn't have missed this for the world. Never calling off sick, because the show must always go on. So I'm going to press this button. Some of you might see an ad. Otherwise, some of you might just go straight into the credits. Thank you all so much. Have a fabulous week. See you in 2 weeks' time or in 4 weeks' time. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.